דוקטור סוזן הנדלמן היא פרופסור לספרות אנגלית באוניברסיטת בר אילן בישראל. ב-1977 היא באה ללמוד בקראון הייטס, תוך כדי עבודתה על תואר הפרופסור שלה באנגלית.
The issue of women in Judaism was very troublesome to me. I went to Smith College. I graduated in 1971. It was the height of the feminist movement. So when I came to Crown Heights to study, and in the years after, this was a very big concern for me. And one of the most profound things that I learned was the role of women in Hasidic philosophy and in Kabbalah through the Rebbe's sichas and through learning there. So I started to write articles on this to help me work out the ideas. So when I was studying there, and right after, I wrote my first one, which was called The Jewish Woman 3 Steps Behind with a question mark. And I sent it in to the editor of a journal called the Yiddish Heim, the Jewish Home, which was put out by Neshei Chabad, the Jewish Women's Organization of Crown Heights. And it was edited by a woman. It was half English, half Yiddish. Nice little magazine. And at that time, my uncle, who was very, very dear to me, was like a grandfather, got very, very ill. I sent in the essay to the woman editor, and at the same time, about a few weeks later, I wrote in to the Rebbe for a blessing for the recovery of my uncle. And right away, I got an answer from the Rebbe's secretary that the Rebbe would pray for my uncle's recovery. And then another very interesting line. It was written in Hebrew in the third person, in kind of the way that you write politely with great respect, you know, in the European style. Nehaneti mima'amara b'Yiddish Heim haba aleinu l'tova. I enjoyed her, and this is your article, in the forthcoming Yiddish Heim. I thought, how did the Rebbe know that I wrote an article in the Yiddish Heim about Judaism and feminism, and that he enjoyed it? The Rebbe, I understood from friends of mine who worked closely in his office, got at least 400 letters a day, endless numbers of faxes, endless numbers of phone calls, met people into all hours of the night, was overseeing thousands of his Chabad shluchim, emissaries all over the world. So how did he know, and how did he, that I wrote this article in the Yiddish Heim? So the editor told me that the Rebbe had such a concern for women and for their activities, and so wanted to encourage them, that after she edited all the articles, he also went over them and edited them himself. And I have the manuscripts, and I wrote in English. So as a favor to me, she gave me back these manuscripts. I was astonished. I taught writing. I taught freshman composition. I'm an English professor. I was working on my PhD in English. He edited my English like an English professor. Every word, typos he caught, putting in apostrophes, changing words, taking out redundant words. The kind of editing that an editor would do. I wrote about 6 or 7 for the Yiddish Heim, and those were also edited just like an English professor. Every little dot, every typo, every misspelling, plus concepts, philosophical concepts about theory of science and secular wisdom. We happened to be filming this, and I requested it on Rosh Chodesh, which is a special holiday for Jewish women. And in some of the articles I wrote, I cited things he wrote about the Jewish woman has this as a special holiday because the Jewish women did not participate in the making of the golden calf. They didn't give in their jewelry. They didn't believe the bad report of the spies about the land, and so they have this special holiday. And the Rebbe stressed, I remember writing, so every Jewish woman in every generation celebrates this and has this power. And he underlined all in the additions he made to my manuscript, that women have this power of redemption, this power of emunah. Every Jewish woman, he always specified that. And therefore, every Jewish woman, no matter who she is, no matter what she does, every single encounter, I learned from the Rebbe, has a power to affect the world.